There's a new street fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is...
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's most infectious action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and try not to catch the Omicron variant, because as you can hear, it really messes with your vocal cords. Guys, I completely appreciate if you want to click off now, or maybe mute the video and put subtitles on, because I sound hard to listen to. But I think that's why Hasbro knew that I was in this state and waited for this opportunity to drop so many action figures to talk about. But you know what? I'm going to try my best. So we had the Hasbro Pulse live stream last night, and oh geez, I sound terrible. You don't feel bad if you click off now. We had the Hasbro Pulse live stream last night, and they had some amazing figures. So let's talk about them. First of all, we got the Doctor Strange in the Mouth of Madness wave. And this was kind of surprising that it's just come out so quickly, announced so quickly, to the point of arguably being a bit spoilery to an extent. For those of you who have seen the Mouth of Madness trailer, I'm not going to say when or where, because that might be giving away too much about other stuff. I'm trying to be careful. But there's a lot of figures in this wave that have kind of been hinted at, but now we're actually seeing, and some that weren't hinted at all. Mainly Rintra, the Build-A-Figure. Now, I know nothing about this character from any comic books or movies or anything. But, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have always wanted a giant green cow in my action figure display. So, finally, Hasbro listened to the people. But seriously, he looks like a decent figure. It's nice to get a big, chunky Build-A-Figure. Hasbro on a good run of Build-A-Figures. They're doing some good stuff, so more power to you. Then with the rest of the wave, we've got the standard kind of Doctor Strange, who looks really nice. I mean, that, I assume, is, his go-to costume for the film, and it looks pretty, regular. We've had very, very, very similar Doctor Stranges before. So if you only want, one iconic Doctor Strange in your collection, you probably don't need to add this guy as well. But then also, we've got Astral Form Doctor Strange. And according to Hasbro, they weren't entirely sure exactly what he would look like in the film, so this is kind of their go-to version of him. But they said they put a lot of work into it, and I'm sure they did. And it looks kind of cool. So I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I think they've used an older body for him, even though the proper Doctor Strange is on a normal body. So it's like, why didn't you use normal body, like a newer body? Why don't you just use the newer body? It looks good, but still. The big one for me from this wave, as far as the MCU characters go, is America Chavez. Now, this is cool. We kind of had hints and stuff that she was going to be in the Mouth of Madness in some regard, in some way, but I didn't know how. And this seems like the first time we're really seeing what the character is going to look like. And hey, she looks like she just leapt straight out of the comics, so that's fantastic. I like this character. I really hope that she gets a good go of things in the movie. I'm sure they will, because zero spoilers, but I saw Spider-Man the other day, and it was everything I could have ever hoped and dreamed it would be. So if MCU carry on like this, we got some good stuff coming. So now also from the movie side, we have Baron Mordo as well. And he looks very different from the Baron Mordo we had in the first Doctor Strange film. So it's more beardy, kind of badass and grizzled. Don't know much about what the character arc's going to be, but the figure looks pretty. Then rounding out the movie characters, we have everyone's favorite cult go-to flavor of the month character, and that is Wong. And why not? Wong is awesome, and we're finally getting a good Wong action figure. That's awesome. I think the costume, the colors look really fun. I think it's a very pretty looking figure. So with Wong there giving everyone that Wong fix that we wanted, I think that's really cool. So for this movie wave, that's awesome. But now we got the comic book figures from the wave as well. And these are big ones that I think a lot of people are very excited for. First of all, the one that we knew about was Despair. I get a lot of that right now. But Despair looks like we've seen of the preview pictures. Really, really cool. I'm down for that. He looks awesome, great, creepy, spooky boys type design. Love that. And then, of course, a big one people were excited for is Sleepwalker. And Sleepwalker looks perfect. I gotta say, he looks great. A lot of people really hyped for this guy. So I think those two together, it's nice. You know what? Kudos to Hasbro for giving us a wave that is predominantly MCU and then putting an MCU baff with that. So if you're just 616, you don't have to buy the whole wave to get a 616 Build-A-Figure. You can just pluck those two figures off the shelf. That's all you need. I appreciate that. So yeah, this looks like a really good wave. But that's not all. There's also a special edition, well, not special edition, but like a deluxe figure of Doctor Strange. I forget what it's called. Is it Earth Defender Doctor Strange? But he's wearing the red and black costume, which is very much in keeping with his with his comic book look. His recent comic book look, which is a more modern version of his costume. Just red and black, two-toned, very cool, with a huge big portal effect behind him. I think that's going to be really popular. Of course, that's going to jack up the price. And I'm like, how much more are you charging for just a little circle of plastic? I'm not too sure about that, but it does look really pretty. So if you want a full Doctor Strange set, then you'll do well picking this up, because regardless of the price sticker, it does look very cool. Just had to change tops there. It seems like regulating body temperature is a struggle at the moment. But hey, if you like this t-shirt, you can get one at teespring.com. Check the link in the description below. Anyway, speaking of special edition deluxe figures, Ulik. Don't know much about Ulik, but a Thor villain? I'm guessing he looks very Asgardian, monster-y type character. Now, I think this is kind of a re-release, but tweaked with a new head. And if you want your Asgardian type characters, this is a great looking one. Is anyone still watching this video now with this train wreck of a voice? If you are, then God love you. You're a real one. But yeah, he looks quite nice. If you like your big, beefy, bulky, colourful characters, fantastic. And they've tweaked enough to make you go, well, fair play for changing it a bit before re-releasing it. And yeah, he looks like fun. A couple more special editions now, and folks, I know you hate the exclusive releases, and these are Walgreens GameStop exclusives, so that kind of sucks. But we've got Baron Zemo, which we saw revealed earlier. We saw some more pictures of him. He looks great. I'll definitely pick him up for my Thunderbolts display. He looks really cool. And then, of course, a big surprise, was Jigsaw. Jigsaw, again, looks awesome. Walgreens GameStop exclusive, I think. But what I really like about him are his accessories as well. A whole bunch of guns and knives, baseball bats. Really, really fun in that regard. I give him credit for really giving him a messed up, gnarly looking face and a cool suit body that you could probably use for different kit bashes and display options as well. So Jigsaw looks really, really cool. He and Zemo, those might be two highlights for the year already. So we got off to a good start. Ragnarok. This one was a real surprise to me. I didn't know we were going to get it. I included Ragnarok in a list of wanted figures. I really like what they've done. They've given him the swirling hammer. That looks awesome. Plus the Terminator style half robot face. Awesome. Got the robot hand. Now what's interesting, I haven't had a close look at this figure, but when Shadimus Prime was revealing or reviewing the reveals, he said it's a shame that they haven't given him a normal Thor head so that he can be a stand-in Thor. But I saw that there is a normal looking Thor head in there, but does that have red eyes? Because if that has red eyes, I get it. Like, okay, well, that's not really Thor. If it doesn't have red eyes, though, then it can be a regular Thor head. Which then means that if he can be used as a regular Thor, then anyone who was hoping to sell their 80th Thor might be a bit disappointed because they're like, he's not going to be worth so much now because people can just buy this one for their regular Thor. But still, he looks cool. I don't think I'll get him. I'm going to be selling a lot of my stuff and paring down. I need to thin out my collection, and I don't need a lot of superfluous characters. You realize after going mental on Marvel Legends, after a while you're like, geez, like it never stops. So I gotta start curating this collection rather than just buying everything, because I'm going to run out of space pretty soon. So this is one of those figures that won't make the cut, but it's still cool to see him. And rounding things out for the single figure releases before we go on to the other big wave for this announcement is the 20th anniversary Hulk figure. I think this looks great. A lot of people, not so much. And I understand why. He's on the, I think, just the standard Hulk body that we've had for a while now. Are his shoulders different? Have they changed his shoulders to more of a butterfly kind of thing? I'm not too sure. I don't think it's a huge difference, but you could stop me if I'm wrong. I'm a little bit delirious, so that's my excuse. A lot of people don't like the head. He's got the kind of look. And I get that. I like it because it's very expressive and it harkens back to the 20 years ago design. So I kind of like that little nod there. I also like the very dark green. I think it's a fun kind of change to the brighter one that we've had before. So that's all kind of cool. I dig that. I like his floppy hair with the sideburns. Again, just very, very 70s. And he comes with the Mandroid head as an accessory. That's throwaway, but it's nice enough. I really like his diorama piece where he's got the sort of concrete that he's smashing and the sort of effects shooting up from it. I think that looks really cool. Only problem, of course, is that this is going to carry a big price jump because he is a big, bulky, hefty figure. So you got to decide if you really want him. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to stick with my 80th anniversary Hulk. That for me, again with the t-shirt, with the shirt, the ripped shirt, I think adds such a nice kind of texture to him. Of course, if you put that ripped shirt on this new one, that would look very cool too. So I think he's good, he's nice, but not enough to warrant replacing. That's the same reason I'm keeping my 80th Iron Man. It's only Captain America that I'm swapping out for this new version. And they said, don't worry, even though you wanted to see it and we're not showing it, Toad is on the way. So that's cool. All right, those are all the single releases. Let's talk about the final wave. And for this final wave, we have the Bonebreaker Wave. And oh my goodness, this looks like all killer, no filler. Almost. So the Baff itself, Bonebreaker, he looks really great, actually. I don't know how big he's going to be, but you can kind of figure it out by looking at the torso and sort of extrapolating. But the details on there, I think it looks really cool. I love the sort of wacky, smiling kind of expression with the shades that can go up and down. I think that's really cool. I would have liked more guns and stuff on the tank part, but what we've got is fine. The tank treads don't actually move, which is a shame, but also I appreciate that's a lot of engineering that would have to go into that, a lot of bespoke engineering. But just as a figure on the shelf, I think he would look really cool. Then next to the other two Reavers and Lady Deathstrike, that is making a very cool display. So I think Bonebreaker, yeah, he's going to be a really awesome Build-A-Figure. Now for the rest of the wave, and there's some interesting stuff in here. I'll talk about the least impressive looking one in my eye first, which is Darwin, who's on the Pizza Spider-Man buck, which is the skinny buck. I appreciate the character is meant to be kind of skinny, so it does make sense, but still, after my poor experience with the newly released Spider-Man 2099 on that buck, I'm like, I've had it with that buck. I'm done now, so I don't want any more of that. His alien kind of face is sort of weird looking, but it's what we expect. But still, he's the one that I'm least excited about. And actually, there's one other person who clearly I was not very excited about because I forgot to mention him altogether. But there's Vulcan, and here he is. There you go, that's all you're getting. Then we got Siren, and Siren looks beautiful. Oh, my voice feels a bit better. I think she looks great. The face sculpt, I think, looks fantastic. Really, really just a pretty sculpt. The body is basic, but it does what it needs to do. But really, it's the face, I think, chef's kiss. Mwah! Nailed it. Really, really great job. And she's got the soft goods for the cape, which is lovely, kind of like Storm. As I think Shardamus Prime said on his review, it's a shame that she doesn't have a screaming face, because that's what gives her ability to fly. So if you put her in a flight stand with her regular face, it doesn't quite work, but still looks really pretty. Now we got Classic Havoc, and Classic Havoc looks terrific with his effects. Without the effects, he's very, very basic. Nice head sculpt with the rings, but that's it. Then you throw on the swirly whirly Havoc effects, and oh my goodness, he is gonna pop off the shelf so wonderfully. I think that he looks cool, fills the gap, isn't anything too special, but with those new effects, that really bumps him up a notch. Now we got ourselves first appearance Sabretooth, and this is a mixed bag. I think the details on him are great. Like, that is exactly perfect first appearance Sabretooth with the way he first looked in that Iron Fist issue he debuted in, which makes me think, will we get a classic Iron Fist coming soon? A lot of people, myself included, not too fond of the face. I like that it's very expressive with a real roar kind of look to it, but the teeth look a bit too white, like a huge big, very much like Mr. Hyde. That's my problem. Very much like Mr. Hyde. Big white teeth and gums. Not so great with that, but I like the crazy look. I think just the teeth, not quite so much. But the claws, the fur, the toes, like that is all really good. On a smaller buck, he's not on the AOA buck, but like that was the size of Sabretooth when he first debuted. So they're kind of being accurate like that. So on the whole, I like that figure. I'm not crazy about it. It wasn't high on my want list, but he still looks quite cool. Wolverine. Now, I know a lot of people are like, ugh, another Wolverine figure. I get it. But at the same time, they've done some good stuff here. First of all, a lot of people wanted the astonishing Wolverine costume, and that's pretty much what this is, I think. The black shoulder pads, oh, I went all squeaky there. The black shoulder pads are a bit unusual. I'm not sure if that's astonishing or if that's a later look, but I actually like the way it breaks up and changes and makes the costume look more unique. Plus, they've given him his heat, fiery kind of claws, and more importantly, on the nice, thick, impressive looking claw design. So I think that's really cool. Just as a Wolverine figure, he looks great. I like the look of it. Maybe I'm just a mark for Wolverine. But also they've given him an unmasked head as well, and the unmasked head looks really cool. So there's some nice different posing options. I don't need another Wolverine, but at the same time, he does look good. And there are people who are starting their Marvel Legends collections from scratch all the time. So you always want a basic Wolverine, and this fills that role really well. And rounding out the wave is Maggot. And Maggot is one that I'm really looking forward to. I didn't think we'd get a Maggot figure. I couldn't believe it till I saw it. And now that I have, it's like, well, damn, they did a really good job with him too. He looks big. That was what I was hoping for. Big, imposing looking Maggot with the trench coat and the big shoulder pads. Expressive looking face, bright, colorful. Got his maggots crawling over him. He looks great. That's probably my highlight for the wave, I think. I think Maggot's going to be awesome. He'll go great with my 90s collection, my sort of late 90s era of X-Men. I'm very excited for him. On the whole, this wave, it just looks like a really, really strong wave. And finally, just to wrap things up, they gave us a little hint. They showed us a backpack. Now, some speculation has been that this is a movie-type backpack, which was maybe seen in Amazing Spider-Man, possibly. That's just, like, I've heard, like, rumors and stuff. I don't know. But it's hinting, or people think it's hinting, at maybe getting some movie Spider-Man figures later on in the year, which, of course, is what a lot of people have been hoping for and asking for to get. Andrew Garfield. Yes, and Tobey Maguire. Sorry, it was Mark Webb as a director, Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man. That's always so confusing for me. So yeah, some Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Wow, I should stop trying to think about things. It's very difficult. But yes, that would be great to see if we do. So fingers crossed that is the case. And folks, that was my recap of the Marvel Hasbro Pulse reveals. If you watched this far to the end, God bless you. I probably would have given up a long time ago. I'm sure I sound terrible. I will get back to doing videos again as soon as possible. I'm not going to try and make many more like this because it is hard to listen to, but I know a lot of people, A, were wondering about my reactions, and B, very sweetly, just wondering where I was because I disappeared for a while. So as soon as I can speak normally again, I will do, and I'll get back to filming and we'll be back having good times again. So folks, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Chill.
To drop so many figures. So I'm going to try And try this again. I can do this. Hello there, gang, and oh gosh, this sounds awful. Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of this. Jeez Louise.
Cup of coffee, half a cup of the